Hello guys, this is pustakverma and you are watching pustakverma Education for All YouTube channel. And today we are going to discuss about inauguration speech of Nelson Mandela from Unit-9 Democracy and Human Rights, Grade 11 Compulsory English New Course and grammatical sections should and had better. So here is the Nelson Mandela's speech. His inauguration speech is presented in this chapter. Yes, and inauguration भनेको उद्घाटन अथवा उद्घाटन समारोहको स्पीच. अनि र डेमोक्रेसी रिफर्स टु यस प्रजातन्त्र ह्युमन राइट्स भनेको मानव अधिकार त्यो टपिकबाट यसलाई निकालिएको छ. So yes, Nelson Mandela once he has said his famous quote is no one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin or his background or his religion. People must learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love, for love comes more naturally to the human hearts than its opposite. अब उनले के भन्न खोजेछन् हरेक मान्छेले के गर्नुपर्छ त it is no one can be discriminated on the basis of their color of skin, background or religions, and human beings should learn both. As one can learn the hate how to hate other or the feeling of hatred, so it is easy to teach them how to love the other people. This is the very famous proverb or quotes by Nelson Mandela. He once he has said, is the presidency commemorates Mariba's inaugurations, and never again shall it be that this beautiful land will again experience the oppressions of one by another and suffer the indignity of being the song of the world. When he became the president, he has given the speech, and in his speech, he has included these lines. So, yes, before dealing with the speech of Nelson Mandela, we will discuss about the questions mentioned in our textbooks. The first one is walk in pairs, look at the photos and share what you know about them. Here, there are two photos. One is of Martin Luther King, another is of Nelson Mandela. Martin Luther King was the president of the USA, he was the president of South Africa, and both of them have so many similarities about them. We will discuss later. Yes, what do these individuals share in common? These both Nelson Mandela and is Martin Luther King. यो दुईटैले के कुरा शेयर गर्छन्? What are the similarities? What are the alikeness we find in between them? त के similarities find पाउँछौं? Both of them fight for the democracy, freedom, equality, justice, human rights, and so on. Yes, Nelson Mandela and this is Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King Jr. was an American pastor, activist, humanitarian, and leader in the African American civil rights movement. He fought against the people that treated the black people bad for no reason. जो मान्छेले black पिपलहरूलाई bad भन्ने गर्थे without any reason, तिनीहरूको अगेन्स्टमा उनले एउटा के गरे आन्दोलन अफ्रिकन अमेरिकन सिभिल राइट मुभमेन्ट चलाएका छन्. And Mandela Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela was born in Transkei, South Africa on 18 July 1918. Mandela himself was educated at the University College of Fort Hare, University of Witwatersrand, and qualified in law in 1942. He joined the African National Congress in 1944 and was engaged in resistance against the ruling National Party's apartheid भनेको रङ्गभेद policy after 1948. He went to the trial for treason. उनी जेल पनि गए र धेरै वर्षसम्म उनी के गरे जेलमा बसे. 10 अथवा 10 May 1994, it is the most significant days in the South African history. He became at the same date, this Nelson Mandela became the president of South Africa. Peace is not just the absence of conflict. जहाँ द्वन्द्व हुँदैन त्यहाँ मात्र peace हुँदैन. Peace is the creation of an environment where all can flourish. सबै मान्छे खुसीको साथमा लाइफ हुन्छ, लिबर्टी हुन्छ, एन्ड देयर इज पर्स्युट अफ ह्याप्पिनेस रिगार्डलेस अफ रेस, कलर, क्रिड, रिलिजन, जेन्डर, कास्ट, क्लास आर एनी अदर सोसियल मार्कर्स अफ डिफरेन्स। त्यस्तो पिस भनेको त्यो ठाउँ हो जहाँ कुनै पनि किसिमको यस्तो खालका एस्पेक्टहरू पाइँदैनन्। सो मण्डेलास स्पिच, म्यासेज अफ द स्पिच, उनले जुन यो हाम्रो टेक्स्टमा इनअगुरेसन स्पिच दिएका छन्, यसको मेन म्यासेज के हो त? मण्डेला वान्टेड बोथ ब्ल्याक्स एन्ड व्हाइट टु रिकग्नाइज द सिग्निफिकेन्स अफ टर्निङ पोइन्ट्स that his address represented in the country's history. He wanted to show the world's new South Africa as a model state which could teach others how to reconcile and overcome the conflict of the past. उनले अफ्रिकालाई एउटा साउथ अफ्रिकालाई मोडेलको रूपमा प्रेजेन्ट गर्न चाहन्छन्. He hoped that South Africans would accept his message of the need to move away from the past and look to the future as a newly united people who should work together to overcome the legacies of the past. So these are the messages that the Nelson Mandela tried to pass out to the people of the South Africa. ग्लोसरी टर्म्स इनएगुरेसन, उद्घाटन, एपर्थाइड, रङ्गभेद, सेङ्सन्ड, स्वीकृति, अर्थ हुनु, रेसियल सेग्रिगेसन, जातीय विभाजन, एएनसी, अफ्रिकन नेसनल कङ्ग्रेस, एन्टी एपर्थाइड, रङ्ग भेद विरोधी, र्याली गर्दै, क्याम्पेन अभियान, रेजिस्टेन्स, प्रतिरोध, डेग्निटरिज महानुभावहरू, यस मेजेस्टिज महामहिमहरू, रोयल हाइनेसेस शाही महामहिमहरू, डिस्टिङ्ग्युस राज परिवारका यो शाही महामहिमहरूको डिस्टिङ्ग्युस प्रतिष्ठित, कन्फेयर सम्मेलन, रिइन्फोर्स बलियो बनाउनु, नोबेलिटी कुलीनता, कम्प्याट्रियट देशवासीहरू, हेजिटेसन हिचकिचाहट, मेमोसा ट्री मेमोसाको रुखहरू, एक्सहिलेरेसन उत्साह, स्ट्रन्ड अस्वीकार गर्नु, आउट लर्ड गैर कानून, प्रिभिलेज विशेषाधिकार, डिग्निटी गरिमा, काजमा अन्तरकल्पना गर्न गाह्रो, इमान्सिपेसन मुक्ति, प्लिज प्रतिज्ञा, बन्डेज बन्धन, डिप्रिभेसन अभाव, ट्रिम्प्ड विजय, कभिनेन्ट करार, हम्बल्ड नम्र, इलिभेटेड माथि उठाइयो, प्रिभिलेज विशेषाधिकार बेस्टोर्ड प्रदान गरियो, रिकन्सिलेसन मेलमिलाप, इन्डिग्निटी अपमान, sunk and obnoxious are disliked person. So then about the biography and the speech of Nelson Mandela, both a short biography of Nelson Mandela and his inauguration speech. आफ्नो उद्घाटन भाषणमा उनले के मेन्सन्स गरेका छन्, that will come to know under this. Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela was who is certainly known as Nelson Mandela, जसको छोटकरीमा नाम नेल्सन मण्डेला हो, and by name मेडिबा, उनलाई मेडिबा पनि भन्ने गरिन्छ, was born on in July 18, 1918 as a member of Thembu tribe, Thembu जातिको उनी परिवारमा जन्मेका थिए, and died in December 5th, 2013. In 1944 he joined African National Congress. उनी 1944 मा अफ्रिकन नेशनल कांग्रेस जोइन गरे एन्ड अपोज द एपार्थाइड पोलिसी, रंग भेद विरोधी पोलिसीको उनी के गरे, विरोध गरे, अफ द रुलिङ नेशनल पार्टी, एन्ड ही वाज चार्ज्ड विथ मिसलिडिङ द युथ. उनलाई त्यसपछि के गरियो, दोष लगाइयो कि उनले युवाहरूलाई गलत बाटोमा लगिरहेका छन्, र त्यसपछि उनलाई अरेस्टेड गरियो, एन्ड ही वाज अरेस्टेड इन 1962 एन्ड वाज सेन्टेन्स्ड टु लाइफ इम्प्रिजनमेन्ट. उनलाई आजीवन कारावास मानेको जिन्दगीभरिको लागि जेलमा राखियो. Due to his concept of providing equal rights to all the races of the people in South Africa, a rallying cry, त्यसपछि मान्छेहरूले एउटा रैली सुरु गरे, फ्री मण्डेला, मण्डेलालाई फ्री गर्नुपर्छ, was seen in the world, consequently was released after 27 years. उनी मात्र एउटा यस्तो मान्छे हुन्, he is such a person who passed 27 years in the jail and came out in 1990s and awarded with the Nobel Peace Prize. Not only the Nobel Peace Prize in 1993, rather he became the president of South Africa as well. He was the Black nationalist and first black president of South Africa in 1994 देखि 1999. Through democratic election, चुनावबाट जितेर who fought against apartheid, रंगभेद पोलिसीको, a policy that government relation between South Africa's white majority and non-white majority and sanctioned racial segregations, जातीय भेदभाव राखेको थियो, discrimination थियो against the non-whites. Nelson Mandela was elected as the South Africa's first black president in the country's first ever multiracial democratic election on May 10, 1994, and delivered his inaugural speech in Pretoria, the capital of South Africa, holding historical significance because of the beginning of the new era in the history of South Africa. He promoted the reconciliation plan and that was to be hallmark of his presidency and wanted his audience to recognize the turning point in the country's history to construct a model state for the world with the teaching of overcoming past conflict and the formations of the human soul and sustain all the hopes for the glorious life of for all. उनी के गरे जब उनी प्रेसिडेन्ट भए उनले के गरे एउटा अफ्रिकाको हिस्ट्रीमा एउटा टर्निङ पोइन्ट ल्याए अफ्रिकालाई उनले ही वान्टेड टु प्रेजेन्ट अफ्रिका एज अ मोडल स्टेट इन द युनिभर्स द्याट is providing the equality to both whites and non-whites. His words are credible. उनका शब्दहरू एकदमै credible छन्, believable because people have seen him experience 27 years as a political prisoner. धेरै जसो मान्छेले उनको शब्दमा विश्वास गर्छन्, उनका वर्ड credible छन्, believable छन्, किन त उनले 27 year एउटा पोलिटिकल प्रिजनरको रूपमा बिताएका थिए, जो कि थिए एउटा फ्रिडम फाइटर थिए, एन्टी एपार्थाइड भनेको रङ्ग भेदभावको विरोधी अथवा थिए उनी. When he says that you want to destroy the divide between blacks and white communities, people know what he means it. He steers their उनी हल्दाउ एकदमै सेकिङ गराउँछन् their emotions by paying tribute to heroes and heroines of their sacrifices and telling that their dreams have become reality. उनले के भन्छन् जो मान्छेहरूले देशको लागि बलिदान गरे, सेक्रिफाइस गरे, nowadays there is dreams have been fulfilled. अहिले पूरा भएको छ. Freedom is their reward. He expresses hope for their futures, thank them for their support and lead them towards the ideal of freedom and state of justice, peace and human dignity. उनले के गर्छन् सबैलाई धन्यवाद दिन्छन्. देश अहिले स्वतन्त्र भइसकेको छ, जस्टिस न्याय पाएको छ, पीस शान्ति स्थापना भएको छ, ह्युमन डिग्निटी मानव गरिमा आएको छ. He promises to restore peace, prosperity, non-sexism, non-racialism and democracy in the country and pays his tribute to the security forces for conducting democratic election. उनले देशमा अब डेमोक्रेटिक इलेक्सन्स हुनुपर्छ, यसमा कुनै पनि किसिमको ब्राबेरी हुनु हुँदैन, करप्सन्स हुनु हुँदैन. He asks his country people to act together as united people. र उनी आफ्नो देशको मान्छेहरूलाई सिटिजन्सहरूलाई के भन्छन् सँगै बस्ने, सँगै काम गर्ने, युनाइटेड भएर नेसनल रिकन्सिलिएसन राष्ट्रिय अथवा मेलमिलापको साथमा नेसनल बिल्डिङको लागि for the birth of a new world. He hopes to restore justice and peace, work for the bread, water, salt, for all the blessings of the God. As a whole, Mandela's tone is inspirational. उनको जो tone के छ एकदम प्रेरणादायी छ, hopeful छ, uplifting छ. Delivery of speech is effective, eloquent, persuasive, एकदमै convincing खालको छ. And the message is clear and easy to understand. He uses dramatic and convincing language. भनेको उनी conversational languageहरू use गर्छन् in his speech and because of that people are able to understand his languages and message clearly. Okay, then about ways with word. Yes, ways with word मा हामीले के पाउँछौं केही वर्डहरु दिएको छ. Find the words in the text that mean the same as the following. The first letter is given. पहिलो अक्षर यहाँ दिएको छ. अब यो होल सेन्टेन्सले जे भन्न खोजेको छ यसको एउटा सिंगल वर्ड हामीले पत्ता लगाउने हो च्याप्टरबाट र यसको पहिलो लेटर यहाँ दिएको छ. The first A is the system that completely separated black from the white people. Black लाई white बाट छुट्याउने सिस्टमलाई ए दिएको छ. ए भनेको एपार्थाइड. एपार्थाइड भनेको हामीले के भन्छौं रंग भेद. बी छ फर्मल अब्जेक्सन. फर्मल अब्जेक्सन यहाँ पी दिएको छ. सो द आन्सर बिकम प्रोटेस्ट. प्रोटेस्ट भनेको विरोध. एन्ड इथनिकल ग्रुप अफ पिपल एउटा अथवा इथनिकल ग्रुप अफ पिपल जसलाई हामीले टी भनेको छ. टी भनेको ट्राइब. ट्राइब भनेको जनजाति. एन एक्ट अन्डरटेकन टु अचिभ अ सेट गोल्स. क्याम्पेन. क्याम्पेन भनेको अभियान. द फर्मल बिगिनिङ अफ एनी मुभमेन्ट. कुनै पनि चीजको सुरुवात गर्नु. इनअगुरेसन भनेको उद्घाटन. इज अ स्ट्रङ फिलिङ अफ एक्साइटमेन्ट एन्ड ह्याप्पिनेस. एक्सलिरेसन द्याट मिन्स रमाइलो एकदमै ह्याप्पिनेस. बिङ सेट फ्रम लिगल सोशल पोलिटिकल रेस्ट्रिक्सन. बन्देजबाट मुक्त हुनु त्यसलाई हामीले इमान्सिपेसन. Find these words in the dictionary and write their meanings as they are used in the text. यिनीहरुको मिनिङ लेख्ने जसरी हाम्रो टेक्स्ट अनुसार पहिलो लिबर्टी, लिबर्टी भनेको स्वतन्त्रता, स्टेट अफ बिङ फ्री। सेकेन्ड कन्फ्लिक्ट, कन्फ्लिक्ट भनेको द्वन्द, सिरियस डिसएग्रिमेन्ट अर एर्गुमेन्ट। इडियोलोजी, इडियोलोजी भनेको विचारधारा, a set of beliefs or philosophies attributed to the persons or group of persons. Oppression, oppression भनेको दमन, दबाउने, cruel or unjust treatment. Privilege, privilege refers to सुविधा, yes, having special rights or advantages. Dignity, dignity means गरिमा, yes, and the state of quality, state or quality of being worthy of honor or respect. Then about surrender, surrender भनेको आत्मसमर्पण गर्नु, to give up or hand over. And reconciliation भनेको मेलमिलाप, restoration of friendly relation. Then we will study about the pronunciation of id भनेछ, एउटा यहाँ दिएको छ id, अर्को t and d. While uttering the word लास्टमा id हुन्छ अथवा t हुन्छ अथवा d हुन्छ. फर्स्ट के भयो wanted, needed, यो के भयो यसमा t हामीले युज गर्छौं, helped, looked, washed, watched, यस्तो यसलाई प्रोनाउन्स गर्छौं। यहाँ के दिएको छ ड, अब यस्तो वर्ड्सहरुमा हामीले के गर्छौं, कार्ड, क्लिन्ड, अफर्ड, यस्तो आयो भने यिनीहरु भोइस्ड भइहाल्यो, भोइसलेस भइहाल्यो, यसरी बनेको छ। देन अबाउट प्रोनाउन्सिएसन अफ इज, स एन्ड ज, यहाँ इज हुन्छ, यो सिबिलेन्ट भयो, भोइसलेस भयो, भोइस्ड भइहाल्यो। अब यसको यी वर्डहरुको प्रोनाउन्सिएसन गर्दाखेरि हामीले के भन्छौं, इज भन्छौं, यसमा स हुन्छ, यहाँ ज हुन्छ। सो यहाँ के भन्न सक्छौं, रेसिज, रेसिज, बसिज, बक्सिज, प्राइजिज, किसिज, वाचिज, इस डिसिज, चेन्जेज। यहाँ के छ, स छ, स्लिप्स, हुक्स, बुक्स, ह्याट्स, क्लिप्स भयो। यहाँ के आयो ज, क्रेब्स, वर्ड्स, ब्याग्स, हामीले ब्याग्स होइन ब्याग्स भन्छौं, वर्ड्स, वर्ड्स होइन वर्ड्स भन्छौं, फल्स, ड्रिम्स, यसरी के गर्ने प्रोनाउन्स दिस वर्ड। In the same way, the d sound d and it in the following verb have different pronunciation. हामीले यहाँ दुईवटा दिएको छ, सबै वर्ड्सहरु दिएको छ, कुनैमा ड छ, अब लास्टतिर डी दिएको छ र कुनैमा हाम्रो ईडी दिएको छ, तर यिनीहरुको प्रोनाउन्सिएसन फरक छ। अब यो यी वर्डहरुको प्रोनाउन्सिएसन हामीले के लास्टमा ट युज गर्छौं। यस्तो दिएको छ भने के भइहाल्यो, ड भइहाल्यो। यस्तो दिएको छ भने यसलाई ईड भन्छ, है। asked, mixed, washed भन्छौं, यसलाई killed, smiled, यहाँ के हुन्छ, blessed, wanted, indeed, visited, यसरी भन्छौं यसलाई। So put these nouns into correct box according to the pronunciation of the plural suffix s or es. अब हामीले यसलाई cats, roofs, books अनि के भन्छौं, shops भन्छौं। यो के भइहाल्यो, dogs, rooms, girls, trees भइहाल्यो। boys, horses, houses, noises, यसरी के गर्छौं, pronounce गर्छौं। So okay, this is about the sound, and then we will move towards the comprehensions or answer the following questions. Question A, what were the restrictions imposed on blacks in South Africa? Black हरुमाथि कस्तो खालको restrictions हरु, बन्देजहरु लगाइएको थियो भने चाहिँ the blacks हरुमाथि the restriction imposed on the blacks in the South Africa were apartheid. Apartheid is तिनीहरुमाथि एपार्थाइड, रंगभेदको, रेशियल सेग्रिगेसन, जातीय भेदभाव, पोलिटिकल एन्ड इकोनोमिक डिस्क्रिमिनेसन, जातीय र आर्थिक राजनीतिक भेदभावहरु थियो अगेन्स्ट द नन व्हाइट्स। Why was Mandela arrested? Mandela was arrested for organizing armed wing of ANC. How did he describe racism and racial oppression? अब मण्डेलाले कसरी डिस्क्राइब गर्छन् रेसिजम र रेशियल oppressions? He described racism as the belief that different races possess distinct characteristics, abilities, qualities, distinguish them as inferior or superior to one another. Racial oppressions as the prolonged, cruel and unjust treatment of authority in the nation. Question D, why did he thank all the international guests? उनले सब international guestहरुलाई किन thanks गर्छन्? He thanks all the international guests for their presence in the celebration of African people's glory and newborn liberty. अफ्रिकाको स्वतन्त्रता, अफ्रिकाको न्यूबोर्न लिबर्टी, यस अफ्रिकाको ग्लोरी गरिमामा सबै इन्टरनेशनल गेस्टहरु सहभागी भएकोमा उनलाई के हुन्छ, थ्यांक्स दिन्छन्। Why did he think that people in his country had achieved political emancipation? किन त यो भन्दा अगाडि त्यहाँ के थियो, डिप्रिभेसन्स, पुबर्टी, डिस्क्रिमिनेसन, विभिन्न कुराहरू थियो। तर आफ्टर Nelson Mandela became the president of South Africa, the country became free, and therefore he thinks so. He thought people in his country has achieved political emancipation in the sense they had got liberty from the bondage, from poverty, deprivations, is Banchit, suffering, gender, and other discrimination. The main point of Mandela's speech is that peoples of South Africa should build a society where there will be justice, peace, rights, equality for all people. The main message of Mandela's speech, जो हामीले अगाडि we have already is mentioned studied this, never, never and never again shall it be this beautiful land will again experience the oppressions and one by another and suffer the indignity of being sunk of the world. भनेको अब कन्ट्रीले साउथ अफ्रिकाले will never face such types of oppression, such types of discriminations in the future. Then some of the questions are also mentions for the practice. Nelson Mandela question answer. When was Nelson Mandela born? It's mentioned 18 July 1980s. Where was he born? Is अनि Transkei, South Africa. Who were his parents? And it is Henry's S. Mapekasi were chief of the Thembu tribe, also known as Henry Mandela, and his mother S. Nosikeni Fanny. And why is he called Mediba? He is called Mediba. I am often addressed as Mediba, my clan, my name, and the sign of respect. त्यो भनेको respect to सम्मान. What is his educational background? Only graduated गरे University College of Fort here in Allies, enrolled at the University of Witwatersrand and Johannesburg, and finally got his law degree in 1989. Why was Nelson Mandela sent to jail? उनलाई जेल किन पठाइयो? किनकि he was accused of misleading the youths and he was sent to jail. Then where was he jailed? कहाँ जेलमा राखियो भनेको Robben Island prison is. How long was he jailed in the Robben Island? उनी त्यहाँ 18 इयर्स पछि त्यसपछि उनलाई रिलिज गरियो, अरु ठाउँमा सुरुमा राखिएको थियो. He was also known as the Black Pimpernel. Why? He was known as the Black Pimpernel because of his ability to avoid police using several disguises or chauffeur. What happened to him after he was released? He joined National Congress, African National Congress, became the ex-president of South Africa. When was Nelson Mandela awarded the Nobel Peace Prize? He was awarded Nobel Peace Prize in 1993. For के को लागि त? For his contributions is for their works for the peaceful terminations of the apartheid regime. And you सबै questions, these all questions are taken out from the sources Nelson Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom, London, Little Brown and Company, 1994. This is the source from where the short question had been taken out. Then the most significant things of this chapter is Nelson Mandela versus Martin Luther King Jr. The eradication of segregations. Yes, eradications भनेको अन्त्य गर्ने, segregations भनेको भेदभावहरूलाई अथवा जातीय भेदभावलाई हटाउने. त हामीले यिनीहरूको डिस्कसनमा के पाउँछौं? देयर आर सम सिमिलरिटिज एन्ड सम डिफरेन्सेस एज वेल. Both Martin Luther King Jr. and Nelson Mandela are the motivational activist. Motivational activist हुन्. यिनीहरू स्पीच दिने खालका मान्छेहरूलाई एट्र्याक्ट गर्ने खालको. Both I Have a Dream by Martin Luther and Our Freedom by Nelson Mandela are the rhetorical speech. त्यहाँ विभिन्न टेक्निक्सहरूको युज गरिएको छ, which are capable of persuading its audience. आफ्नो ऑडियन्स दर्शकहरूलाई एकदमै उनीहरू कन्भिन्स गर्न सक्षम भएका छन्. These speeches support for the equality between blacks and whites people and also encourage peaceful protest as a way of achieving equality. According to King, we must not allow our creative protest to degenerate into physical violence. हामी physical violence मा जानु हुँदैन. हामीले के गर्नुपर्छ? आफ्नो क्रिएटिभ प्रोटेस्टलाई फिजिकल भाइलेन्समा कन्भर्ट गर्नु हुँदैन. According to Mandela, it is not only through the disciplined mass action that victory can be assured. These statements prove that they are peace-loving leaders. Mandela and King advocate for the democracy in their speeches. Yes, Mandela was in United States of America and yes, Martin Luther King was in the United States of America and Mandela was in the South Africa. Both speakers focused on advocating democracy and their speeches overtook the deeper problem of inequality. दुईटैले inequality को पनि कुरा गर्छन् र democracy establish गर्ने inequality हटाउने कुरा गर्छन्. Just as there are similarity in the speeches, Mandela and King uses figurative expressions in Luther's speech as a major difference. Is Martin Luther King uses figurative expressions in his speech, I have a dream, marking we have come to our nation's capital, cash check. Similarly, Luther was referring to the Emancipation Proclamation, which was signed by the President Lincoln's administrations about 100 years ago before Luther's speech. यहाँ के देखाउँछ मार्टिन लुथरले के भन्छन् The check was given to the black people long ago, लगभग 100 वर्ष अगाडि के गरिएको हुन्छ ब्ल्याक पिपलहरूलाई चेक दिइन्छ तर त्यो क्यास भएको हुँदैन द्याट मिन्स द अथोरिटी इज गिभन यस पावर उनीहरूलाई दिइन्छ अथोरिटी दिइन्छ फ्रिडम दिइन्छ स्वतन्त्रता दिइन्छ बट ओन्ली इन द डकुमेन्टेसन पेपरमा मात्र दिइन्छ रियल लाइफमा उनीहरूले स्वतन्त्रता पाएको हुँदैनन् त्यसको लागि यिनी के गर्छन् फोकस गर्छन् फाइनली बोथ नेल्सन मण्डेला एन्ड मार्टिन लुथर किङ जुनियर आर द सिम्बल अफ फ्रिडम एन्ड गुड लिडरशिप द साउथ अफ्रिका एन्ड युनाइटेड स्टेट अफ अमेरिका रेस्पेक्टिभली So then about critical thinking मा एउटा क्वेशन्स दिएको छ what does Mandela mean when he says a rainbow nation at peace with itself and the world नेल्सन मण्डेलाले के भन्न खोजेका छन् जब उनले के भन्छन् a rainbow nation at peace रेम्बो यस इन्द्रेणी निस्केको एउटा राष्ट्र छ जुन शान्ति प्राप्त गरिरहेको छ संसारलाई पनि के गर्छ शान्ति दिलाउनमा सहयोग गरेको छ So by this statement, this concept of rainbow notion was invented by Archbishop Desmond Tutu, which he used to describe post-apartheid South Africa after the first democratic multiracial election in 1944. जब उनी president भए, Nelson Mandela then picked up this colorful image when he said during his first month of office, each of us is as intimately attached to the soil of this beautiful country and as are the famous jacaranda trees of Pretoria and the mimosa trees of the Bushveld यिनीहरू के हुन् त peace अथवा indicator treesहरू a rainbow nation at peace with itself and the world. Since then the notion of rainbowism has been debated. Certainly anyone traveling to the South Africa will be struck by the poverty and deeply enchanted racism that still exists there. It is easy to travel optimistically, full of rainbow nation myth, only to arrive and discover a very different reality. Everywhere you go, white are the customers, blacks are serving. हामीले के पाउँछौँ जहाँ पनि अफ्रिकामा जान्छौँ व्हाइट कस्टमरको रूपमा पाउँछौँ ब्ल्याकहरू सेवा गरिरहेका हुन्छन् व्हाइट्स आर ड्राइभिङ ब्ल्याक्स आर वकिङ and you will find slums on the sides of the road right opposite grocery shopping malls and gated mansions. You will see black people living in the tiny tent of motorways and harsh soldiers as white people. यस हामीले के भन्न सक्छौँ यसरी passed in 4 by 4s and is there maybe the black president but the surface on the surface it could appear that apartheid has not ended at all अहिले पनि रङ्गभेद के छ अफ्रिकामा पाइन्छ Mandela should have avenged on those who imprisoned him for such a long period. मण्डेलाले त्यस्तो बदला लिनुपर्ने जसले उनलाई लामो समयसम्म जेलमा राखेको थिए Instead it followed the path of reconciliation. तर त्यसको सट्टामा उनीले के गरे त मेलमिलापको बाटो फलो गर्यो Why do you think he did so? तिम्रो विचारमा उनले यस्तो किन गरे Mandela should have avenged on those who imprisoned him for such a long period. Instead, he followed the path of reconciliation because he was dedicated himself to the freedom struggle of the African people. To do this, he fought against the white and black dominations in the South Africa. He not only fought for the oppressed people in Africa, but also imprisoned him as he was the follower of reconciliation. But more than anything else, he fought for democracy as a plural society in which all the persons, races, languages, and opinions can live together in the harmony and with equal opportunity. However, what Nelson Mandela as a political or moral leader made possible for the humanity was to extend and expand the capacity to rethink the politics in terms of ethic and empathy and politics of forgivings and revolutions of values in South Africa. Mandela's life experiences speaks clearly for itself, yes? And the transformation of Mandela himself and that of South African society went hand in hand. Then question number C, why and how have society struggles with segregations in the world? कसरी र किन समाजले के गरिरहेको छ सेग्रिगेसन्स भेदभावहरू अथवा जो जातीय भेदभावहरू छ यसलाई फेस गरिरहेको छ. डु यु फाइन्ड एनी इभिडेन्स अफ सेग्रिगेसन्स इन युर सोसाइटी? के तिमीले आफ्नो सोसाइटीमा कुनै त्यस्तो खालको सेग्रिगेसन्सको इक्जाम्पल पाएका छौ? Segregations refers to the segregations of group of people or condition of inequality मान्छेमा असमानता. Racial segregation is one of the many type of segregation which can range from deliberate and systematic persecutions through more subtle types of discrimination and self-imposed separation. हामीले के पाउँछौँ हाम्रो देशमा पनि के पाउँछौँ जातीय भेदभावहरू पाइरहेका हुन्छौँ. It is social separations of human beings on the basis of number of factors including race, जातिको आधारमा, इथनिसिटीको आधारमा, नेसनालिटीको आधारमा, विभिन्न अथवा हामीले मधेसी पहाडीको आधारमा पनि त्यस्तो खालका पाएका हुन्छौँ. Those segregation found in the society may belongs to any form. They can lead social, economical, and political tensions. Like this concept of segregation designs several sorts of rights such as legal rights, civil rights, political rights, and many more. From the ancient time, people in society have attempted a lot to eradicate such concept of segregation from the society. This constitution of Nepal doesn't endorse any segregation society in terms of religion. तर संविधानले केही पनि कुरा त्यस्तो गरेको छैन. तैपनि प्र्याक्टिकलमा हामीले के पाउँछौँ त? Such types of segregations we find in our society as well. Then there is a writing, and this writing is important as well as writing is important as well. So here we will come to know about it. Nepal is a topsy-turvy political history. Many changes have been observed in different times. Write a short biography of any Nepali freedom fighter. Nepali freedom fighter को बारेमा लेख्ने हो. So I have mentioned here about Ganesh Mansingh, Nepali freedom fighter. Ganesh Mansingh was a leader of the democratic movement of 1990s in Nepal. He reserved as a father of democracy as Mahatma Gandhi in India, an iron man in Nepalese politics. He joined Praja Parishad protest against the autocratic rule of Ranas. Ganesh Mansingh was the main leader of Nepali Congress movement in 2007 BS, which was able to overthrow the Rana regime in 2015 BS, and he was elected as a member of the parliament from Kathmandu, and later he became the cabinet minister and became the one of the main leader of advocating democracy in Nepal. Singh made major contributions to Nepal. He was the leader of anti-Rana movement in 2007. BS was the leader of Nepalese Congress. Gave continuous efforts to the establishment of democracy over the autocratic rules of the Ranas, and उनी mass movement को पनि commander थिए. Mass movement first which was took place in 2046. यो हाम्रो 2046 मा जो mass movement भयो यसको पनि उनी के थिए त main leader थिए. But this movement could not bring the democracy in Nepal. However, Ganesh Mansingh's continued effort to lead multi-party democracy of establishment of Nepal. He died on 2nd of Ashwin 2054 BS at Kathmandu. So he was the Ganesh Mansingh. Do you think यो question पनि this question number B is also very much significant is एकदमै important छ. Do you think there is a racial caste discrimination in your country? Discuss with your friends. Write a 5-minute speech. एउटा 5 मिनटको speech लेख्नु. Distinguished chairpersons, Reverend, graced, Reverend भनेको respected, and my dear friend, today I am expressing my few words on the topic racial discriminations. Have you ever judged people because they are from the certain country or belongs to certain race? If you haven't been through this, just imagine how would you like it? Not even a bit, right? So if you don't like it, we should never do it to someone else. Racism can raise its ugly head in many places. It may occur in active way or passive way. It may be exclusion, leaving people who are different out of the social groups or gatherings, not considering their views and experiences, outcasting them aside, calling them names and insulting them. Discrimination haunts many people worldwide. It can make their life worse, full of pain, struggles. It not only breaks the heart but also wants to make people give up progressing at social. Loss of job, loss of promotion, such as event can destroy the moral. They can become the reasons for venting out of the frustrations and aggregation. Legal systems are evolving all the time and in more advanced country. I shall finish my speech with the sage word of Nelson Mandela of 1994 जुन स्पिचमा मेन्सन गरेका छन्. No one is born hating others person because of colors of his skin or his black background or his religion. People must learn to hate. If they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love. यदि मान्छेलाई हामीले लभ यदि हेट गर्न उसले सिकेको छ भने लभ गर्न पनि सिकिहाल्छ. फर लभ कम्स मोर नेचुरली टु द ह्युमन हार्ट्स देन इट अपोजिट. हेट भन्दा लभ के हुन्छ नेचुरली आएको हुन्छ. सो दिस अल्सो फिगर अल्सो सोज द एपार्थाइड पोलिसिज कसरी ब्ल्याक्स यिनीहरू व्हाइट पिपल लाइनमा अगाडि छन् ब्ल्याक पिपललाई पछाडि राखिएको छ. दिस फिगर क्लियरली डिस्प्लेज. Then about the grammatical sections use of should or had better. Should को प्रयोग कहाँ गर्ने, had better को प्रयोग कहाँ गर्ने. Should के को लागि use गरिन्छ, advice को लागि. To give advice, you should quit smoking. To expect something to happen in the future. John called and told me that he is on the way. He should be here soon. Thus mainly should को use advice को लागि गरिन्छ. had better के को लागि त फर मोर अर्जेन्ट एडभाइस विथ ब्याड कन्सिक्वेन्सेस. यहाँ एडभाइस मात्र हुन्छ, यहाँ बढी अर्जेन्ट एडभाइस हुन्छ र कन्सिक्वेन्सेसको साथमा. कन्सिक्वेन्सेस भनेको परिणाममा. यदि यस्तो गरेनौ भने मोस्टली अर युज गरिन्छ. हाम्रो यो had betterमा अर को युज गरिन्छ. सो all of you have to careful while seeing the sentences. यसमा अर आयो भने सिधा had better युज गरिदिएर पनि भइहाल्यो. अथवा यस्तो हुन सक्छ भनेको एउटा परिणाम पनि देखाउँछ. So use of should used to give advice or suggestions to mean that you expect something to happen in the future. My brother told me that he is on the way. He should be here soon. Had better भनेको to give strong advice with bad consequences. You had better give up smoking or you will die. Then about the exercise from the text. Complete the sentences with should or shouldn't. Use one of these verbs. यहाँ केही भर्बहरू पनि दिएका छन्. यो भर्ब पनि युज गर्ने भनेछ. Drink पिउनु, विजिट घुम्नु, लिभ छोड्नु, रोम भौतारिनु, क्विट छोड्नु त्याग्नु. यु हेभ रियली डन अ वन्डरफुल जब. आई रिकमेन्ड यु सुडन्ट लिभ इट. तिमीले राम्रो जब गरेका छौ, तिमीले यसलाई छोड्नु हुँदैन. द्याट इज भेरी डेन्जरस एरिया. टुरिस्ट के गर्नुहुन्न त, टुरिस्ट सुड नट भिजिट दियर. त्यहाँ जानु हुँदैन. कि सुड युज गर्ने, यहाँ के दिएको छ, आइदर वी सुड युज सुड. हामीले दुईटा मध्ये एउटा युज गर्ने हो. कि सुड युज गर्ने हामीले, कि हामीले के गर्ने त सुड नट युज गरिदिने. दुईटा मध्ये सुड अथवा सुड नट. पहिला यो भर्ब एउटा चुज गर्ने, सुड र सुड नट युज गर्ने. आई एम गोइङ टु बी लेट. डु यु थिङ्क आई सुड लिभ नाउ. म ढिलो हुन गइरहेको छ, मैले छोड्नु पर्छ भन्छ. चिल्ड्रेन्स sugary drinks, it's not very healthy. Children should not drink sugary drinks. I have lots of homeworks. I shouldn't roam here and there today. म भौतारिनु हुँदैन, धेरै होमवर्क छ. Then about put in had better or should. Question A. I think you learn English to enroll a university course. So हामीले we use here should, you should learn. It is a great film, you should go and see it. यसलाई गएर हेर्ने. यदि कन्सिक्वेन्स परिणाम आइदियो, नेगेटिभ कन्सिक्वेन्स आयो भने मात्र हामीले had better युज गर्ने. I have to meet my friends in 10 minutes. I go or I will be late. गएन भने मलाई के हुन्छ, ढिलो हुन्छ भनेको यहाँ परिणाम आइदियो. हामीले के युज गर्छौँ, had better. I had better. These biscuits are delicious भनेको you should try. We get to the airport by 2 p.m. or भनेछ. यस्तो हुन सक्छ भनेको had better. And then about when people are driving, they should keep their eyes on the road. Yes, उनीहरूले आफ्नो आँखा केमा राख्नुपर्छ त, बाटोमा राख्नुपर्छ. I get up early tomorrow. I have to do a lot works भनेको I should get up early tomorrow. I have got a lot to do. मलाई धेरै काम गर्नुपर्ने छ भनेछ. Yes. So okay, this is about the speech, inauguration speech of Nelson Mandela from the Unit-9 Democracy and Human Rights. Regarding this topic chapter, if you have any queries, mention below in the comment sections. If you find these videos helpful and interesting, like the videos, share it, subscribe it, click on the bell icon to get notification from upcoming videos. Thank you for watching this. Goodbye. Have a good day.